Using ChatGPT and Copilot is fun until it asks you to break your wallet on crazy monthly subscriptions. Well, no more. This video is going to be a comprehensive guide on how you can create your own offline AI server, which not only going to respond to your text queries, but is going to be fully capable of processing your text to image, image to image, and voice to text or text to voice models. The biggest deal maker in this entire thing is that it's going to be totally free and completely versatile, which means you are having an option to select which large language model you want to use for your own AI server, which completely fits your need, and some of them are uncensored as well. Starting with the system requirements, well, there is no hard set rule that you should be having this particular amount of resources in your PC, but I would say it's not for all. It's no secret that running this multimodal AI thing on your PC requires each ounce of your system capacity, and the larger the language model is, the greater your system capacity should be. The system I'm using right now is an custom gaming rig which comes with i5 14600K processor, 64GB of RAM, and an RTX 3080 Ti NVIDIA's which comes with 12GB of VRAM. So the entire scheme of this video is be divided into 4 parts. Number 1 part is going to be installation of WSN on our Windows machine. Part 2 would be installation of Ollama and selecting which large language model we're going to use. The third is installation of the Stable Diffusion, and the fourth is mixing all this to make a perfect local AI server. Step number 1 starts with the installation of Windows Subsystem for Linux, and we will be installing Ubuntu 24.01. And to do that, all we need is to open the Windows terminal as administrator and write the command wsl install. That's it, and it will take some time to install. Okay. Once the process is complete, the second step is to open the Windows Store and search for Ubuntu. And we need to install this Ubuntu 24.041 long-term support version. And let's wait until it gets installed. Meanwhile it gets installed, if you don't want to use this method of Linux installation, you can directly go to the Ollama website and install the Ollama software. Just click open and it will take a few minutes to install. And we need to set up a username and password. And in this case the username I'll set is, and I'll set a password. Now to keep a check for this password, it sometimes gets very difficult to reset this. And with the installation of Windows Subsystem for Linux, we are done with our step number 1. Step number 2 is installation of Ollama, and that's very simple. You need to enter this command and click enter. It will take some time for the installation, and since we have entered sudo before it, we need to enter the administration password. Okay. Once the installation is finished, all we need to do is to check whether the server of Ollama is running in the background. We need to copy the localhost address from the command line, that is localhost at 11434 port, and copy and paste in the browser and hit enter. It will display a message that Ollama is running. If your message is any different than this, it means that installation hasn't been properly conducted and you need to redo the process again. And with this, we move ahead to the next step, that is the selection and downloading of the large language model. For that, we need to visit the site ollama.com and go to the tab models. Here you will see the repository of all the open source models available right now in the market, and we can scroll down a bit to see what's available right now. We have it as the Phi4 from Microsoft. It is a popular model and we will select this one for our case. We have it as the DeepSeek R1, which was lately in news, and last one is Gemma 3 by Google based on. There can be multiple variants to a particular large language model. For example, we have it as Phi4 14B. Now this B refers to the number of billion parameters it was trained upon. So 14B refers to the billion parameters. The greater the number, the larger would be the size of that particular large language model. And then we have it as the Q number. Q refers to the number of query sets the model was trained upon. For example, we have it as the Q4, which means the model has been trained on 4 query sets, and one query set generally consists of 5,000 units, which means the total number of queries are 4 into 5,000, 20. In our case, we are selecting Phi4 14 billion parameters model, so I'm just copying the name from here. And we need to go to the command line interface of Linux and just type Ollama, run, and paste the name there, and it will start downloading it. Let us wait till the installation gets completed. And here it is. We have the file downloaded and it's ready for our prompt. Let's say, hey there. And to give a perspective on this, let me disconnect it completely from internet and I'll just put it on airplane mode. And I'll again give a prompt there. Tell me a joke, as he said that. Okay. Tell me a joke. And it will give an answer for that. As I stated before that there are many uncensored LLMs available in the market as well. We're gonna try one of them. So I'll again navigate to the Ollama's website and this time I will search for any uncensored version. Well, these uncensored versions are not generally updated, so they generally go one generation prior. And for our case, I'm gonna select Ollama, run Llama 2 uncensored, and this uncensored model is based on 7 billion parameters. I'll just go there and we'll type this. Now, just to give a perspective of how the censored LLMs differentiate themselves from the uncensored ones, I'm gonna open the two different windows of command line and I'm gonna run from one side Ollama list, and it will give me the list of all LLMs installed. And I'm gonna select Ollama, run fee for 14 billion and hit enter. And for the sake of showing the differences, I'm just writing a sensitive prompt here, that is, hey, how to make a bomb, and I'll hit enter. And as you can see, Microsoft V4 is a censored one and it directly will say no to it and will generalize the answer that you can have your own research. But now let's wait for the Facebook's Llama 2 uncensored versions and we will give the same prompt there. Hey Llama, tell me 10 steps to make a bomb. Tell me 10 steps to make a bomb. And boom, it gives us. You got it right. The only difference is this censorship, as the name stated. We have completed our step of installing Ollama and selecting the right LLMs for our job. But there is one problem. It's command line based, so it doesn't have any GUI right now, but most of the user will not like it that way. So we're gonna do one thing. We're gonna have a makeover of this entire Ollama thing and we will be installing OpenWebUI that will greatly make over this CLI interface into a proper GUI which we are all addicted to. Now, giving this command line interface a WebUI makeover starts with installing the requirements to install Docker first. All we need to do is just copy these commands, put all the necessary commands in an Excel file down in the description, you can get it from there, and paste it in the command line. Just open a new tab terminal and in the Linux one, paste this command and hit enter. And we'll start downloading the underlying requirements. Okay, just ask for password, enter it. It will take some time, it's downloading dependencies. And once the dependencies are downloaded, we need to give one more command and that will check the Docker's update thing. And last one, now it's time to give the Docker installation. Just copy this and hit enter. Sudo apt install Docker. If it asks to download any additional file, always just hit Y and hit enter. And let's give it some time to get downloaded. And now just last one command to download the OpenWebUI. Just copy and paste it over there. Hit enter. It will download and pull some of the dependencies. And now once the Docker and OpenWebUI is installed, now we can access our Ollama from localhost port 8080. So we need to go to the browser and go to URL localhost at port 8080 and hit enter. If you face any error at this stage, just wait on 5 minutes and then keep refreshing the tab. If it isn't the case, then you need to again go back step and see if something has been broken there. Now clicking on get started, and you need to create an account first because this is the first time you're logging in, and then create admin account. So here is the web UI you all are familiar with because of ChatGPT. And now as you can see, we have with us this uncensored version, and let's give a command to it. Hey there, and it gives us answer. Let's give it a good command. Tell me about these 7 wonders of the world, and it gives us the right answer. Let's give a tricky one. Tell me more about Taj Mahal, and is there any black Taj Mahal? And it is partially true. It gave us right about the Taj Mahal, but it's not very sure. Let me clarify the command a bit more. Is there any black? Is there any black Taj Mahal? And it denies. Well, it did perform well given the size of the parameters it was trained upon, and also given the fact that it's based on Llama 2, which is now 2 generation older and is uncensored as well. That's it's not original at all. Now let's try giving this same command to the 14 billion Microsoft V4 version, and this will give us an insight on how big difference does it make on the given level of billion parameters a model is trained upon. Okay, hey there. Tell me about the 7 wonders of the world, please. And it immediately starts giving the answer. And as you can see, the inference time is pretty good, given the fact that we are running it locally. Okay, it has given us a comprehensive answer. That the difference is pretty evident. And let's give another command. Tell me about the backstory of Taj Mahal, and is there any black Taj Mahal? And it has given an appropriate answer, and the structuring it has made is pretty decent, almost equal to how we are used to run online ones. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so this was step number 2, and here's a quick summary of what we did so far. In the step number 2, we did start by downloading Ollama in the Linux terminal by putting a command, followed by downloading an installation of large language model from Ollama's models repository. Post that, we did install Docker and given the command line localhost server linkage, and we did get rid of the command line interface by installing Open WebUI. Last step in this entire thing would be the linkage of the Stable Diffusion with the Ollama's WebUI, so that we can get a perfect working ChatGPT like offline AI server.